All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about how to dip waffle bowls. Okay? First thing, if we're starting off dipping for the day, I want to go ahead and I want to mix my dipping chocolate up. Okay, you can see here the crew from the night before left it a little bit messy. That shouldn't happen. Okay, we're going to mix this up. We have 3 different types of waffle bowls. Sometimes we have specialties, but our main 3 that we have are just plain chocolate dip bowls. We have chocolate dip bowls coated in sprinkles. We have chocolate dip bowls coated in peanuts. Those are the 3 main. Sometimes we'll have some specialty ones, but those are the 3 we need to make sure that we make every day. Out of those 3 different ones, you should always make the chocolate ones last, and here's why. Because if I'm going to dip here and I'm prepared to do this, and a customer walks in and I have to come back and it got too solid there, that's a chocolate. I make those last so I don't have to make as many chocolates. So it's imperative you always plan on making the plain chocolate last. All right, so when we do this, I've got my supplies. Today we're gonna make some peanut bowls. I have my peanuts here. And for me, I like the 3-tray method. Okay, some people will tell you other ways, using a bowl, using this, that, or the other. I wanna see you using the 3-tray method. This to me is the best way to do it. Okay? So we have our 3 trays laid out. We have our parchment paper on top of the tray. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to find some waffle bowls that can be dipped. We want them so that they would fit in the top here. Sometimes people make waffles and they're too wide at the top and they don't fit. You don't want to use those. So when you're making waffles for the day, make sure that you're making them so you can make some that need to be dipped. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to dip them. I have my gloves on. We're going to dip it about halfway in, coating it out, and this is where it's important. You have to shake. This is where it gets tedious, but it's important. Okay? Notice, it's not going everywhere. We're going to put that down on the tray, and we're going to go to the next one. On this one, I noticed we have a little bit on there. We're just going to break that off. Down about 3/4 of the way and shake. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back and I'm here finishing up my 6th one. The key is to get 6. Now if you look again here, most of what you see there that was there when I started. There's going to be a little bit of mess there, but should not be a big mess. Now we move on to part 2, the center tray. Okay, I started with this one. I know which ones I did first. I know which ones I did last. So the ones I did first I'm going to start with. Okay, as you can see, there's going to be some excess that happens. So I'm going to coat. Doesn't matter if I start with the inside or outside, but I need to coat the entirety of the waffle bowl. Okay, let the excess fall, put it onto my 3rd tray, and continue on. Now the key here is, if I do this too quickly, and I don't let them sit a little bit and let that chocolate harden a little bit, you can see other people didn't do it and you're getting chunks in with the peanuts or chunks in with the sprinkles. We don't want those. If we do it at the right time, we should avoid most of those chunks. When it's good and coated, back to the tray. Okay, you get the idea. I'm going to do this and then I'll get back with you. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, again, remember we start with peanut or sprinkles, and the last thing we do is chocolate, because as I was doing this, if a customer had come in, I would make eye contact and let them know, I'll be with you in a moment. Okay, as long as they see you're doing something, you can multitask. I can do this and talk with them at the same time. Oh, how's it going today? I'm going to be right with you. You know, you have an idea of what you want, you can talk to them while you're working here. Multitasking is so important. Okay, now that I have finished dipping them all, we have our 6, we have our 3 trays, our center tray. As you know, this tray needs to go in the refrigerator. I would prefer it goes into the freezer. At Lake Worth, I would prefer just head to the back. It's not that far to the walk-in freezer if there's a shelf there. I know some of you like to put it in the refrigerator, but it's just easier. Here, if there's room on the shelf in the white freezer, it's just so fast, it gets them cold faster, and the reach-in freezer is used so often, it can create a disaster. So I'm going to put these in the freezer and I'll be right back. Now that we've put them into the freezer, we have our 2nd tray. What we're going to do is we're going to take this parchment paper, fold it up, and we're going to put it nice right back in there. And as you can see, it gives us very little waste. Okay? I know some people have used the bowl or whatever else. Again, 3-tray method works the best if done properly. Okay, and if you do the sprinkles, you would get a new piece of parchment paper. At the end, when we're done here, whatever chocolate we have left, we can break off and we can put back in to the dipping chocolate so that we don't waste. All right, we've gotten ours out of the freezer. We're going to take the same cups that we use when we dip them. We're going to go ahead and put those right on top. And then we're going to take that tray over to where we put them on display, which would be on top of the mix-in jars. Put the tray to the side, nothing ever goes on the stone. And I'm going to put these out up front for people to see. As you can see, they should be coated pretty well all the way around. And I don't know about you, if you like peanuts, this looks good. And that's our goal. Make them look as good as possible. Okay. Additionally, on the top, you shouldn't see a bunch of flat edges. I've seen it in the past where you put too much chocolate and you're not shaking it off and you leave a bunch of flat on the top. We don't want that. That's why we have to shake it up. Okay? If you look at those waffle bowls that I dip, you should see some consistency. You shouldn't see some that look good, some that look bad. They should all look good.